Hello, 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 everyone. This is your mad Black woman, Louise Hicks of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. And as you know, if you've been following me, that mad is for motivated and determined. And I just was thinking of something because I saw what LeBron James had to say about the fake news and mainstream media and how they tend to have their little double standard when it comes to what the elite, so-called elite, because I look at people as people. And I put this in my background because it's the planet. And that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about our planet, our huge planet Earth, and how some of these so-called elite think that they own the planet. And not only the planet, they think they own everybody else except their little elite circle. And I'm just going to take a few minutes because after seeing what LeBron James had to say to these journalists, so-called journalists, and I call a lot of it, one thing Donald Trump did say, fake news, and they tend to have their double standard with the news. And as you can see, I have this planet background with all the beautiful stars, and I just look at it as universal human rights. We all should have those. And it's ironic what LeBron James had to say because he was telling the news media how different they are treating him when they interview him with the Kyrie Irving situation, in which I don't feel Kyrie did anything wrong. He went in search of his roots and just posted actually a link. He didn't say anything. And then the powers that may be or whomever, they don't want to accept what he did. However, when it was brought out about Jerry Jones, how he was helping out the students, even though he was 14, but I've been 14 before. And when we're 14, we know what's right and wrong. However, we know that many households are raised to be racist. And that's how they think about us as Black people. And it comes out eventually as to who they really are. And if you think about it, Jerry Jones has never had a Black coach. And it's interesting. And it doesn't have to be the same type of sports. It's sports. And I like what LeBron had to say when he asked the media, and he asked them to let him speak. And then he just walked away. He wanted them to ask him questions about the Jerry Jones narrative, how he helped to stand in the way of the Black students attempting to go to this integrated school. And even though he was younger, it's ironic how the news media hasn't asked any questions about that. And they're not even all over that like they have been with Kyrie Irving. So I'm in agreement with that. And I just wanted to come in because I do like sports and I wanted to give my perspective. And again, I am Louise Hicks, the host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour, where I come on every Sunday at 11 o'clock, pretty much close to it. I might be a little bit later than 11 sometime, Pacific time, 1 o'clock p.m. Central time, and of course, 2 o'clock Eastern time. And we talk about various subject matters. Sometimes I have guests and sometimes I don't. I have a YouTube channel as well. Please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I have a lot of great content that is uplifting, and it is aimed, AIMED, the number 2, Purpose Radio. That's Aim to Purpose Radio. That is my YouTube channel. So check it out, subscribe, leave comments, and just see if there's any content there that you can use to give you information about how to uplift particularly our Black community. And I just wanted to chime in and just give my perspective on what LeBron told the news media, because he really gave them a good perspective and something to think about. Because if it was something about us as Black people, the news media would have been all over it. I don't care if it was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they will dig up any dirt that they can on us and talk about it forever. And it's run on all the news media outlets, all the fake news, because a lot of the news is nothing but programming people to think the way they want you to think. And I'm so happy that a lot of Black people are coming out and speaking about this, because we need to change the narrative about how we are viewed on the planet, because I believe in universal human rights. And that's what we should be having. And that's not the case. And it hasn't been the case. And I noticed the fake news mass media never mention about what is the cause of all of this divide. And it all stems from slavery. That's the bottom line. That's the root cause of it. And it hasn't changed a whole lot, because if it had, we wouldn't be having these types of conversations, and the news media would be more fair instead of just carrying what they're told. And of course, we know where the ownership comes from. The ownership comes from who owns the news media, and we know who owns the news media. So they put what they want to put out there to program people to think the way they want you to think. And I'm so happy to see LeBron's, and I just hope and pray that he will not backpedal like I've seen him do sometimes. And in terms of Kyrie Irving, I don't see where he did anything wrong. He just posted a link. And it's funny how anybody can say whatever they want about us as Black people. And like I said, I'm this mad Black woman and I'm Miss Aim to Purpose as well. And the mad Black woman is motivated and determined. That's what it stands for, motivated and determined to be more expressive, open, uplifting, transparent, because we have more problems than any other ethnic group in America. And we're the only ethnic group in America that was captivated into slavery for all those years. Now, why don't you talk about some of that news media when you're talking about Kyrie and saying all the stuff that you've said? And by no means do I believe he's anti-Semitic, and nor am I. However, I do express when it comes to our people, because we do have a lot leveraged against us in this country. And I put this background there because it's our planet too. It doesn't just belong to the elite so that they can treat people any way that they wish to treat people. So maybe it's time they're getting a little bit or a lot more of their own medicine so they can see what it feels like, what it really feels like. And I'm glad it came out about Jerry Jones. And I'm hoping that it comes out about a lot more of the so-called elite, the white supremacists, because it needs to come out. It needs to be exposed what they're doing. Their children need to know what's going on this planet and why it's such a great divide, because I know they try to hide that. They don't want their children to know, but they don't care about our children and what our children know. That's why it's so important for us to teach our children our history so they will know and understand, because I know that's what I do. And I'm encouraging us as Black people, because I was on here earlier, to spend wisely, spend our money wisely, invest in our children and our future, create generational wealth, create a legacy. Please stop going out spending up our money with others who do not care about us as a Black community and Black people in America, because we know what has been happening over the years, almost 500 years. And when it comes to reparations, I just want to mention that, yes, we are deserving of it. Our ancestors built this country with their blood, sweat, and tears, and all of the atrocities in the process. That is what is so heinous about what America did. And they're still doing it. It's just a different template. That's all. And I had to come in and express myself. And I'm so happy to see more Black people getting on code and on board to have a better understanding of our history, and this not shedding any hate or anything against anybody else, because believe me, it's not in my heart. If we had more love in the world, we would have a better world. And if the elite stop trying to hide and put some of these Black people out here in front to do their dirty work for them, we would have a better world. And you Black people that are acting like cowards and falling for it, you need to stop. And in terms of our politicians, what is going on with some of you? You've been in office forever, some of you, and there still aren't any changes. If there were, we wouldn't be having these types of conversations. So I'm also asking our Black politicians to wake up and do something positive for a change, and stop going on and on and on with business as usual. You need to work on yourselves, because when we vote you into office, we expect for you to be fair by us. And if you were, like I said, we wouldn't be having these conversations like this. So I'm asking you to do your part. Otherwise, we need to vote you out. We need to vote you out of office, bottom line. And I don't care which party you are, whether you're Republican or Democrat. And I'm neither one. I became an independent long time ago. So I look at what the person is offering, and that's what we all need to start doing, and stop just giving the Democrats our vote just because they are Democrats. So I'm going to be on this weekend, and I have a special guest coming on. We're going to be talking about some medical issues, and it's a single parent, a single Black parent. We're going to be discussing some things with her and her daughter, because we know single Black parents particularly get a bad rap too in America. And that's not always the case. There are some dynamic Black single parents out here, and they need to be recognized for what they do. Black men and women, single parents. I happen to be having a single Black parent on here. So I just wanted to come in and give my perspective about the news media and how that double standard they have, how they will profile anything negative about us. They love it. But if it's something positive about us, believe me, you won't hear about it too much. And even if it's 50 years ago, they'll go back and dig it up. So let's give it some thought. And over the holidays, please, parents, give it some thought on how you're spending your money. And spend wisely, invest in your children, something that's going to benefit your children in the Black community. And let's stop just giving away our $1.6 trillion to the powers that may be and people that do not care about us. Okay, and thank you so much for listening and watching. And again, I'm Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour that comes on every Sunday. My YouTube channel is aimed, AIMED, the number 2 Purpose Radio. Please go and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, comment, and you will see me coming in more often. I'm in California now, and I live in Texas as well. I'm back and forth between the two, but right now I am in California. And as I said, I put this beautiful planet behind us because all of us deserve to have the freedom to live on this planet in peace and have the same rights as others, because we deserve it as Black people, because we've had enough of these atrocities against us in America, and we deserve our reparations. So with that said, I'm going to tell you, your power lies within you. Let it loose. And we are a brilliant, melanated Black people, and we are letting that GPS system, God-powered system, be known now. Thank you. Have a good rest of your evening. And I may see you tomorrow. I don't know. If I do, just know, much love. Until then, again, Louise Hicks. Good night.